Hello, everyone. This is Tina Kadish of Life is Ideal, your life purpose and business coach, tuning in here for day one of our 3-day training. So I'm so excited to be here to kick off our 3-day training that we are going to have tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday night, 7 o'clock here for 1 hour. We are going to spend the time together to talk about how do we remove the fear out of your career. Okay, and so let me share with you, for those of you that don't know who I am, how did I even do what I do now, and why did I pick this topic? All right, so I will share more with all of you. So I so appreciate for those of you that have registered for the training and who are going to tune in tonight and who are going to show up for yourself, because you're not showing up for me, you're showing up for you. It is so important that all of us really think about that. Are you showing up for yourself, whatever you desire? Okay, so I'm Tina Kadish of Life is Ideal. I am in Danbury, Connecticut, and I started my business in 2012. And my story is that I was laid off from corporate America as an area trainer in 2003. Oh my God, it's such a long time ago. So for the first time, thank you for who is tuning in. Please introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you tuning in from? Thank you so much for being here tonight. And so I was laid off as an area trainer. And for the first time, I had found myself on a journey of really scared. I was really scared because it was the first time that I had been laid off. I've always been in control. I've always made the decision to leave a corporate job, but never had it been taken away. Hey, Maida, thank you so much. Maida hello, Karen. Thank you so much from Washington. We have Canadian and we have Washington. So we are global tonight. Thank you, Maida. Maida and Karen, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself right here in the comments so that everybody else gets to see who you are. So I was laid off. I found myself for the first time that not knowing what I was going to do. And so I was a single mom with 2 kids at the time. Also, I was laid off on November 19, right before the holidays. Okay, great, Maida. Thank you. So yes, Maida and Karen, introduce yourselves. I know you're where you are, but tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are, and what are you looking to learn from this 3-day training? Because it's all about how do we remove that fear out of our career. Okay, so I would love to know, what are your goals for this 3-day training? What would you like to take away from this training? Yes, okay. Yes, I know who you are, Maida. So Karen doesn't know who you are. So thank you so much for sharing about that you're a bookkeeper, virtual assistant, as well as an English coach. Awesome. Karen, why don't you share a little bit about what you do? So anyway, getting back to my story. So I found myself on a journey of self-discovery to figure out, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? And I really was unsure. I had that uncertainty. And I just said to myself, or I said to my boss at the time, a door has closed, but another will open, and I don't know what that will be. Now, was I scared? Did I have fear? Absolutely. Who doesn't have fear? Okay. And then I'll share with you what to expect for the next coming days, what we're going to talk about. So, but I just wanted to let everybody know, who I am and a little bit about my story. So I started my journey and I was networking, which is something that I recommend all of you do, is you network. So I joined some networking groups and I learned of a tool called the Passion Test. And I learned from this tool that I now coach my clients today on how to discover your passions. So, and it helps you to identify your top 5 most important things to focus on. So I was intrigued by this tool because I said, I've learned in my research that over 85% of working individuals are not happy with where they are in their careers. As a matter of fact, over 50% of people are disengaged on their job. I remember myself how I would be surfing the internet while being at work, looking for how do I find my dream job? How can I make money doing what I love to do? So I started my journey. And so I started my business sharing this tool because it really resonated with me that I wanted to really share the message to other people that you can live a life with passion. You can make your dream a reality. So this tool that I took helped me to discover that I wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur impacting other women to find their passion. However, this tool did not enable me to sustain my business full-time. So I did go back to a job as a corporate recruiter. In the meantime, I did network marketing, I did some contract work, so I did do other things. I took about a year and a half to really figure out what I wanted to do, but I did go back to that. Yes, that's right, Karen, because I know, Karen, you and I spoke, and I love what you're doing, that Karen really wants to help people live life on your terms. Who doesn't want to live life on your terms? Who doesn't want to be living a life with freedom? So I call myself a freedompreneur, a life purpose coach, and a business coach because I want you to know that you are worthy of living a life on your terms. You can make your dream a reality, and let's stop staying stuck in our dreams and not letting them out because of the fears that we have. And I'll share with you the next couple of days, we're going to talk about the types of fear that we fall victim to. We're going to talk about some traps that we fall into. We're going to also get into beliefs, because beliefs that we have right here, our mindset plays a huge part in how we create our lives, what we choose to do every day. Okay? And fear keeps us stuck. So to continue my story, I did go back to a job, but I was doing my business part-time. So one of the things that I coach my clients today is I don't tell you to quit your job tomorrow, start your business, because it took me 6 years. I did become a full-time entrepreneur in July of 2018. And today I am a full-time entrepreneur living the dream of being an entrepreneur. Has it been easy? No. Has it been rewarding? Yes. There are days that I'm like, what did I do? Did I make well, I never have said to myself, have I made the right decision? No. Because I'll tell you why. Because freedom and flexibility are two core values of mine that I will not trade for the world. They are priceless. And when you can live life on your terms, which is what Karen is saying, yes, absolutely, writing an ebook. I wrote an ebook, The 6 Steps to Go from Uncertainty to Clarity. And my ebook is that, get clear with your career. So yes, Karen, working on your ebook is so, so critical. Okay. And I love what you're doing. So, sorry. Oh, I froze. Okay. I hope we're expecting a storm here. Can both of you hear me right now? I hope so. I didn't see that I froze. All right. I'm sorry about that. Technology, right? Anyway, so I did go back to a career as a corporate recruiter. And why did I go back to a career of a full-time job? Because of fear. Okay? Fear of the unknown. I was afraid of that. Thank you so much that you can both hear me now, right? Okay, good. Awesome. So thank you so much. So anyway, so there's a lot of types of fear. There's the fear of the unknown. There's the fear of failure. There's the fear of success. There's the fear of income. And we're going to go into each type of fear. And what I'm going to also do for the next couple of days is we're going to talk about not only the types of fear, how can you overcome these fears? What are some tips that you can take? I'm also going to have an exercise. And one of the things that I want to share with whoever tunes into my training and stays with me for the next 3 days, I will send you the replay. So if you want the replay of each day's training, put in the comment replay, and I will send you the replay of the training. I'll also send you the exercise that I created that you can do about fear. It's really helping you. I call it the fear flow exercise, okay? And it's going to help you to identify what is it the fear that you have and why do you have this fear? Like, there is an underlying reason why you have these fear. Where do they come from? Okay, awesome, Karen. I will definitely send you, I will make a note here of Karen replay. Awesome. Thank you, Karen, so much. Okay. So anyway, and, okay, awesome. I'm having problems here too. Okay. So Maida, can you hear me now? Am I coming in? Okay, good. Thank you, Maida. All right, I'm glad that you can hear me. So for those of you that are going to tune in, also, I so appreciate all of you. So let's get back to today. So I will send Karen, Maida, if you want a replay, put replay in the comments, and I will make sure that I send you. Because what I'm doing is 7 people registered for this training, and not all 7 of you are going to get the replay. Why? Because you didn't show up. So I will honor the people that show up, that took the time to attend the training. So Karen and Maida, you will get tonight's training. What I will do that each night, who attends, who shows up, in other words, will get the replay. You'll also get the exercise, okay? Because it's all about accountability. You could have been somewhere else, Karen and Maida. You really could have, but you decided to be here, okay? And that says a lot with who you are, okay? So I started my business with that tool, and you're welcome, Karen, with this tool. So like I said, it wasn't sustainable, but I did go back to a job until 2018. And how did I finally make that decision? Well, I was doing my business part-time, Life is Ideal, and I was working full-time. Now, Karen, I know you were laid off. Maida, I know you're working a full-time job, but I know that you have 2 days a week that you can focus on your business, which is awesome. I was working 5 days a week, working my business part-time. Why did I work it part-time? Because, number one, I wasn't ready to leave. I had the loss of income. I was making very good money, as a matter of fact, and it was just me and my husband. We were both self-employed. It was just the 2 of us. He was self-employed, and I was carrying the paycheck. I was the one that was carrying the benefits, okay? So I don't know if you can relate to this, but whoever is going to tune in here, but I had benefits, and I could not jeopardize losing health insurance benefits, okay? And so what happened was, I will definitely send you the replay, Maida. I'll make a note of it, okay? So anyway, so I stayed longer than I should have because of health insurance. How many of you, both of you, Karen and Maida, what is your, and I'd love to hear both of your thoughts, what is your number one fear, okay, that you'd like me, thank you, Maida, what is the number one fear that you both have right now that's leaving you in your jobs, okay, or, I know, Karen, you're laid off. So what is the number one fear that you've had, and how has it impacted you, okay, in your life? Because for me, the fear of health insurance, not having it, kept me there. Money, yep. Money is the number one. One of the things is, and tell me more about that, Karen. What is it about the money that you have that fear? Because I've interviewed many women that have gone from corporate to entrepreneurship. And I've also interviewed women that are still in a corporate job and they haven't taken that leap. The number one reason is income. But what is it about the income that's keeping you, like, really not enough money to save and to pay my bills, not wanting to borrow from family or end up on the street? So let me ask you, Maida, because these are thoughts that we have, okay? Steady income streams, yep, I get it, okay? I get it, totally get it. But we think we don't have enough money, and we think that there might not be a solution. We think that you might end up on the street. But Maida, let me ask you, do you think that you really would end up on the street? I'm just going to ask you that question. But what I'm going to ask you, though, too, is are you doing something right now towards what you desire? Because it's not going to happen overnight. And that fear is not going to go away. I left my job in 2018 with the fear. Okay, I did. But one of the things we're going to talk a lot about is, one of the things is, do you believe in what you do? Do you know what you want? Do you know what you want to bring into your life? Do you have that clarity to bring that into your life? Okay, because that is so important. That I knew I wanted to do my business full time. I knew what Life is Ideal was about. I knew I wanted to help other women find their freedom, find their passion, and turn it into a business. And that's why I also became a business coach, because I can help you launch your business. When you have figured out what you want to do, I can help you launch your business. I have a business planning model that I can help you start your business with my process. Okay, so, but I learned all this through working with the coaches. I didn't do this all by myself. I didn't just decide next day to leave my job. It was a process. And this is one of the things I want to share all of you. I know, Maida, you will not end up on the street. A lot of times we say these things, but is it really true? Ask yourself, is this true? Will this really happen? Or are we just making this stuff? Are we just saying it? A lot of times we make excuses. I would always make excuses. Well, now is not the right time. You know, my husband and I, we need my income. I'm not going to find health insurance. Or no, the health insurance that I will find will be very expensive. I was paying $400 a month, okay, health insurance with my career. Well, guess what? I am now paying $309 in health insurance. I'm actually paying less now than when I was working for my job. So think about that. And it's a very good plan, by the way. It's a very good plan. Okay? So, I ask all of you, do you have something that you're saying to yourself? Are you making those excuses and telling yourself these stories? We all tell ourselves stories about why we can't do this and why we can't do that. We're going to talk a lot about confidence, self-confidence, because what happens a lot of times is we lack the confidence to take that step, to take that leap. Well, you know, one of the things that I will share with all of you here is, how much pain are you in before you, I'm sure I tell myself, yeah, we all do, Maida, you're not the only one, okay? We all tell ourselves stories. How much pain are you in before you will take that leap? Now, I was walking in every day in my job, unhappy, unfulfilled, just plain frustrated. Plain and simple frustrated, all right? I really was. But I did it every day because it was comfortable. How many of you can relate to being comfortable before you take a leap, before you make a decision? I was making good money. I was getting bonuses, profit sharing, and I was comfortable. But was I happy? And that's what I want to ask all of you that are going to tune in, that are live right now, and who's going to tune in replay, watch the replay. Are you happy with where you are? Are you happy? You might be making good money, but how much pain are you in before you make that decision? Okay, so I know, Karen, you were laid off, and I know that you're creating a business. So I help people like yourself to launch a business and get clarity. Yes, you know, we're comfortable. And a lot of times, you know, yeah, you've been in jobs you hated because of the environments. Absolutely. You know, the number one reason, and here's what I want to tell you. I'm going to go through some reasons on why you should quit your job. For those of you that are in a job, I'm going to go through some reasons why you should. Okay, and really think about these reasons. I'm going to go into those in a couple minutes. But what I want to say with you is, because now you're on your own. You have to do everything. You're not getting that comfortable paycheck every 2 weeks or every week, whatever you were paid. You have to do the work. And I'm not saying that you weren't doing the work at a job, but the paycheck is going to come in. Okay? So I'm asking you, yeah, I'm sorry. Video keeps pausing. Sorry about that, Maida. I do not know why that is happening. And we don't even have a storm going on right now. I don't know if it's on your end. I'm not getting anything on my end, and my internet is unstable. I'm sorry about that. I hope that the replay will be better. Okay, video keeps freezing. Okay, let me see. I'm sorry about that, Karen. It shows that I am all up and it's strong. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Karen and Maida. All right, anyway, so I know that we are at 7:20. I'm going to respect your time. We'll be ending by 8 o'clock because I do respect your time. Anyway, so you're staying comfortable, but you're hating where you are, okay? So it's not a good place to be because we all have gifts and talents. All of you do have your gifts and your talents, but are you being selfish and holding them onto yourself and not sharing them to the world? I want to ask you that question. You, Maida and Karen, I know loss of income. Another fear that we have is that do we have value? Do we believe in ourselves that we have value to offer to the world? Okay? Do we believe that what we have as a product or a service is something that people need? Is it marketable? Okay? Because that's another fear that we may have, that we don't believe that we value what we have to offer. Okay, so those are some types of fear. There's fear of failure, which I'm going to go into a lot of detail about fear of failure because there's a lot around that failure that I want to talk about to you. And in my research that I have done, I'm going to address that. But I'm going to share with you right now. There are 5 reasons, okay, on why you should leave your corporate job, okay? And ask yourself if you're truly satisfied with where you are. Now, if you're not in a job right now, how are you right now, where you are in your life? What is it that you desire? Do you even know your why, okay? Do you really know what that is, okay? I have an exercise that I work with people to help them figure out their why because it's so important. That is the first step to getting that clarity. So let me ask you. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions, okay? The number 1 reason is passion, okay? Are you engaged in your job? Are you longing to do it? Do you wake up every day excited that, oh my God, I'm doing what I'm doing? You know, Karen, I know you want to help people live on their terms. How did you get to that point, okay? How did you realize, and I know you worked with federal inmates, and so you've had that experience, but what led you to get to this point that you want to help them live life on their terms? Why are you passionate about that? Why are you excited? Because when I talk about passion, are you excited every day, waking up with the passion, okay, that you want to do it, okay? Would you do it in your spare time, even if you didn't get paid, okay? So if the answer is no, you're not passionate with what you're doing. So even if you're not in a job, I call it just over broke, even if you are in a business, you want to be sure that you're passionate with the business that you're doing. Do you wake up every day being excited? Do you really believe you're making an impact? What impact are you making for other people? Okay, so as a business owner, as a career, corporate person, ask yourself these 3 questions, all right? Because what happens is if you don't have the passion, you want to quit. Now, I'm not saying to quit tomorrow, but you want to start having a plan. What are you doing to get to that point that you can actually quit? How did I quit? I'll tell you what I did. I saved money to create a cushion, to create an emergency fund. Every day, I stepped up my activity in my business. Okay, I was getting clients already, but I really stepped up the showing up online, showing up, calling people, really creating that visibility, that credibility of being there for people, letting them know what I did. So I really stepped it up over 100%. Because when you're working full time and you're doing a business part time, there's days you come home, good, made it awesome, slowly, good. Creating an emergency fund is so important. Okay, so really important to do, and I'm glad that you're doing that. Showed me that the younger generation doesn't have the life skills to take care of yourselves. Yes, I know, Karen, we talked about it, and I know that you want to work with younger people because they don't have those life skills. So that's a great impact that you can make if you can shape the younger generation, because they're not taught that in school. They're not taught basic life skills. They're not taught how to manage a checking account. They're not taught why to save money and how it could help you create a legacy, create security. You know, financial security. I mean, that's one of the things that I always say. I want financial security. Okay, but you're not going to get financial security working for someone else. You're making money. They're making money off of you. Okay, and you're just going there. You're showing up. You're doing a job, but you are living on their terms. They're managing you. They're managing your time. You're not in control. And tomorrow, they could let you go, either layoff or fired. I'm going to be real here. There is no security in the corporate world. And we give so much loyalty to them, but they can just like that. And it's happened to me. I was laid off just like that after I had been promoted as area trainer. And I got laid off because they downsized the whole training department. Yes, to do what I want, when I want, and work I want, including taking vacation. Exactly. It's about being self-reliant. And that's the thing, self-reliant. We talked about, Karen, you and I, but self-reliant is so important. And we're going to talk, I want to make a note of self-reliant because you want to rely on yourself. You want to be in control, taking over, being in control of your destiny. Okay, so you want to really, you want that. It's important to you, or it is to me, okay, that I want to be able to create my schedule, spend time with my family and friends. You know, my daughter passed away last year of an illness. I was able, because of being an entrepreneur, I was able to spend time with her 100%, working my business while taking care of my daughter. I would not have been able to do that. As a matter of fact, I would have had to quit my job in order to take care of her because I wouldn't have been able to have that flexibility. So think about the time freedom that you don't have working for someone else. Okay? And I know, you know, all these stories that we tell ourselves, but we can make it a reality if we start taking action. Even if it's one thing. Maida, you're doing an emergency fund. Awesome. You're also starting your business. Maida has a Facebook page that she started. She's starting to create a community. Karen, you know, you're starting your business as well, okay? And you're working it, okay? Take action every day towards what you want in your life. As I said earlier, I do not coach my clients to leave their jobs tomorrow. You need a plan. You need to start getting clients. You need to start having the mindset, learning the skills, and creating a strategy around what you want. Yes, and tips would, exactly. So, Karen, if you know anyone that needs some English coaching, okay, Maida is your girl, okay, because she does the coaching, English as a second language. She will teach you how to speak English, okay? So let's get back to the top 5 reasons to leave your corporate job. Okay, passion is one. We talked about that, okay? Because passion is going to help you to wake up every day working for the rest of your life without feeling like it's work. I love what I do because I want to help people like you. You're welcome, Ada. Awesome. Thank you, Karen. I want to make sure that you are living your life on your terms, but finding that clarity that you need in order to get there. Okay? So, number 2, impact. Now, for me, every year I pick a word that I want to focus on for the year. And I picked impact, as a matter of fact, in 2021, because I want to make an impact for women that they can leave their corporate jobs and be an entrepreneur. Okay? And again, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's mindset, it's skills, and strategy that are going to help you to get to that place. Okay? So the mindset, fear is part of mindset. So what we're talking about in this training is really one piece. It's your mindset, the types of fears that we have, the fears that paralyze us. And we stay in that place of comfort, the place of the unknown, that we say, well, I don't know if I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be turned down. I may not get clients. All these stories. So I left in 2018 with all those fears. I left with all those fears. And I said, you know what? I'm taking this leap of faith. I've got enough money saved away, and I will really be 100% focused because I have the time. I'm able to really have more of the time to focus on my business, because there were times that I would come home and I would say, I'm tired. I'm going to do this tomorrow. How many of you can say that? Okay. That was me. Okay. And also my job, I traveled a lot as well. So I wasn't even home to even focus on my business. All right. So impact. So do you want to create an impact in your job? Like, do you really want to make a positive impact in your job that you're proud of? I mean, because do you offer value in your job right now? Okay. I mean, do you want to deliver value, or do you deliver value to society, or are you just making money for your company? Okay. And see, the authentic impact and value that you will create will be worth a lot more than your monthly paycheck. So both of you want to create value, right? You want to make an impact. I know I do. I want to change women's lives and really help them go from corporate to being an entrepreneur, okay? Yes, you offer value to the doctors in my job because I help them with their accounts. Exactly. You help them with their accounts, okay? So the doctors know where their money is going. Because one of the things that I coach my clients on when they want to start a business is I help them figure out where's their money going, how much money's coming in, because we need to assess our current state of affairs. Okay, we really do. Okay, so you really want to know where your money is going. Okay, so is your work visible and valuable? Is your hard work meaningful? And does it make sense? So think about your corporate career, wherever you are, okay? But if you are in a business, I know, Karen, you have been laid off, but so think about, even as an entrepreneur, are you offering value? Are you making an impact? And I say this with you as well. If you're not making an impact, you're not offering value, it's not meaningful, then it's time to even change your business and do something else, okay? Because many people I know have started a business, they realized it wasn't for them, and they changed, they pivoted, and they realized this is not really working for them. So it's okay. You're not failing. You're making a decision that this is not the right business for you, and it's okay. So number 2 is impact. Number 3, dreams. Dreams is the essence of your existence. I talked about earlier making your dreams a reality, okay? And I want to make sure that you understand that it pushes humanity forward. Working at a job, okay, sometimes it's difficult to find the time, the energy to fulfill your dreams and goals because you're working for someone else's dreams. You're not working towards your dreams and goals. You're helping them achieve their dreams and goals. You're helping them with their bottom line, not your bottom line. Okay, so that is so important. That are you fulfilling your dream? Okay, so one of the things, if you want to start a business, okay, you have to, and you're not sure what business, you have to leave this safety net. See, we want to play safe, okay, and we don't know what we want, okay, but being safe won't help you with your dreams. It really won't. Staying safe, you're going to stay safe, but are you really happy? Are you really fulfilling your dream? Okay? So, how many of you have actually been uncomfortable? Because when you're safe, you're not doing anything uncomfortable. You're just playing it safe. You're staying in your comfort zone. And, okay, but are you happy? Are you creating an impact? Are you living your dream? So enough with the dream, okay? Because I think you've got a good handle. Any questions, Maida, Karen, so far on these reasons why you want to leave your corporate job? If any of these things resonate with you, that you are saying to yourself, wow, really not, okay? Yeah, that is true. Because you know what, Maida? That is good that you work 3 days a week. Because what Maida does now, she has 2 days that she can focus on her business. And Maida, not too many people have that, okay? Karen, are you still with us? I would love to hear, what are your thoughts about these reasons about leaving your corporate career? I would love to hear from you, Karen. Okay, number 4, freedom. Having the freedom, your own destiny and impact, your own schedule, and the possibility to do what excites you every day, controlling your own lifestyle. I just love that every day I create my schedule. Okay, yeah, being laid off, that was me, definitely out of my comfort zone. And here's the thing that I find interesting. We won't leave a job because of being, we're comfortable and we don't want to be uncomfortable. But when we're laid off, we have no choice but to figure it out, right? When I was laid off, I had to figure it out. I didn't have that safety net anymore. All right? Now, yes, I did get a severance package. It wasn't enough to keep me going and going and going. It was just enough. But what my point is this. We are staying loyal in a corporate job, but they're not loyal to us. They can lay us off just like that. And they do. They do. So you do get out of your comfort zone. I found it a blessing to be laid off. When I was laid off, if I hadn't been laid off, I would never started Life is Ideal. I wouldn't have, because I wouldn't have had that uncomfortable. I wouldn't have had to figure it out. And that's when I realized that I wanted freedom. So which leads to number 4, okay? Corporate paychecks and bonuses in your bank account won't let you live your desired lifestyle because you're stuck in your corporate job. Okay, and I call it the corporate cage. Okay, you never have the time. Sometimes you don't even have the time to spend your money. Sometimes you don't even have the time to take a vacation because it depends on what job you have. Yep, we are a commodity in the corporate world. Yes, we are, Karen. Both of us can relate to that. Maida, I don't know if you've ever been laid off. Would love to hear your experiences about being laid off, because this is such an area that, they'll lay you off at any moment. Just like that. Okay, so freedom. So time is a valuable asset. Be grateful for every day. Be in the present moment. And so so I share with both of you is every day, what will you focus on to move the needle forward towards what you want to achieve, what you desire, okay? Because freedom, it's priceless. You can't put a price on it, okay? I've been laid off plenty of times. I was sad when it was company of life, but happy. Yeah, I agree, Maida. It is sad. And these are emotions that we go through. Now, I was angry, to be honest with you. I was frustrated. and angry because I had just been promoted, and then I find myself laid off. Okay, and I just did not understand why, and how dare they lay me off. So you go through a grieving process because it's a loss of a job. Okay, especially when I was doing a great job. Okay, and like I said, I had been promoted a few months before that. Okay, so anyway, so be careful how you use your time, preferably on your dreams and not on a corporate job that you don't even care about. Okay, that is so important. So number 4, it's freedom. Okay, number 5, legacy. Now this is huge too. Okay, nobody will remember you from a big corporation. You're just an easily replaced number in a money-making factory. Okay, after all your hard work and efforts, you want to be remembered, don't you? So you want to create a legacy, or do you? I'll ask you, terrible for you just being promoted too. Yeah, I had just been promoted. Oh, Karen, I'm sorry, I'm freezing up again. I don't know if it's on your end or my end, because I know we're going to be getting some storms tonight. Am I still frozen? Am I okay now? Oh, I hate technology. Are you able to hear me now, both of you? Okay, I hope so. So doing meaningful work that will leave a legacy behind your name is important. Okay? Can you hear me now, both of you? Am I still frozen? Oh, boy. Okay. Are you both with me right now? It's got to be the storms in the area. I'm sorry about this. We're going to be wrapping up. Okay. I'm still frozen? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, good. Thank you, Karen. All right, so I'm okay now. So legacy, so the 5 reasons are passion, impact, dreams, freedom, and legacy. If you don't have those, it's time to really look at time to leave, but I'm not saying to leave right away. Okay, thank you so much, Maida and Karen. I really appreciate that both of you have stayed with me. I know it's 20. Here we go again. Maybe tonight is not a good night with technology. So what I could do, I know it's 20 of, I want to go into something else. There's one of the fears that I want to talk about. It's the fear of failure. And Karen, am I, because I would make sure that you can hear me and not be frozen. I don't know why. Cuts in and out. It's not your fault. Okay. Sorry, Karen. I'm so sorry. So both of you are so good that you are, okay. Okay. All right. So any on what we've talked about so far, the different types of fear. What is the one fear, the type of fear? Is it fear of failure, fear of success, the fear of loss of income? I think both of you, correct me if I'm wrong, have that fear. The fear of not offering value to others. Like I said, I've interviewed quite a few people, and the loss of income is huge. But I think that it also stems to confidence, because the money will come if we believe in ourselves, if we believe what we do is valuable, if we show up, we take action, our mindset. Okay, because one of the things we're going to talk about in the next couple of days is our beliefs. What beliefs that we have, okay? Yes, loss of income. And so that was my main belief, okay, was that I wasn't going to make the money. Now, but there's things you can do. Let me just share something with you related to income. What can you cut out right now in terms of your expenses? Can you cut out those unnecessary expenses that you have? Can you cut down some things so that when you are self-employed, that you are in a better place? Like, for example, I paid off all my credit cards before I left. I saved money. I created an emergency fund. I cut out whatever, some unnecessary fees that I had, or I cut out other things. Now, since I left my corporate career, I no longer have to buy lunch. I don't buy my coffee. I don't spend a quarter of the clothes I used to spend going to work, because every day at the time, this was pre-pandemic, I was buying clothes all the time. I saved so much money by being self-employed. So what can you cut out? Okay, I'll see if I can have less. Yeah, what can you believe? Yeah, belief in ourselves and fear of failure. Yes, so fear. Okay, so fear of failure, and we're going to talk about fear of failure, Karen, because, and I'm going to write that down, because I'm going to go into that in more detail, is the fear of failure, okay? Yeah, something as little as that. For example, I had Amazon Prime, got rid of Amazon Prime. I called my Sirius. I have Sirius radio in my car. I called them to get a lower plan. I saved that. I shopped for health insurance because I was paying more money, getting less coverage. I just found another one. This is where I said earlier, I'm paying $309 a month for health insurance, a better coverage, saving money. So what did I do with that extra money? I now am investing it in my IRA. Okay, so I took some money and now I'm investing it. Okay, so we can make it. It's that belief in ourselves. Okay, yeah, see, if you hardly use it, then, these are little things that we don't realize. What can you cut out right now before you leave Maida, your corporate job? I would have been able to, I left because number one, I had it. I said, I'm going to do it no matter what. I will do it. I will do it because I believe in myself. And I want all of you to say to yourselves, I am enough. I am more than enough, and I am powerful. I have gifts, and I deserve for the money that's coming to me, because we all deserve it. We're all worthy of it. It's just that we are not moving forward with it. We're not taking action with those desires. We're just staying in our comfort zone, and we're not stepping out of our comfort zone. Okay? And then the year comes to an end, and we look at our life, and we say, oh, I did have that goal at the beginning of the year to leave my job, but here I am again. And I did it for many years. Okay, I stayed in my last job 11 years too long because of excuses and all the fears that I talked about. Okay, so those are the things that I experienced or that I was doing that kept me in that place. Okay, so those were things that I went through myself. Okay, so those are some types of fears. We're going to go into fear of failure into more detail tomorrow night. We're going to go into some traps that we fall into that relate to confidence. And we're going to also talk about beliefs. Day 3, we're going to go into beliefs. I'm going to also share an exercise that I'm going to send to both of you so that you can do it yourself. It's called the Fear Flow Mind exercise. And I'm going to talk, and then also day 3, I'm going to give you some tips. What can you do to overcome the fears? Because this training will mean nothing if you don't have some tips, some action things. What will you do as a result of this training? What action will you take? What is one thing you will do? Okay, thank you, Maida. What is that one thing you're going to do, or two, that you will do immediately? Because I always say this to people, no action will give you no results. Nothing will change if you stay doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. It's called what? Insanity. Okay? That's what it's called. Okay? And so you definitely want to think about those things. So it is about 10 of 8 right now. I don't want to start something new and then cut it off in the middle of the conversation. But any comments, Maida and Karen, what is your one tip tonight, or something that was an aha for you that you learned tonight, that you'd like to share here. I so appreciate both of you for being here tonight and taking the time and staying to the end, because it says a lot about who you are, Maida and Karen. What is one thing tonight that you walked away? A nugget that you got from tonight? Karen, Maida, anything? I hope you can hear me. I see somebody just joined us. Who just joined us? I would love for you to say hello and who you are. We're about to wrap it up for who just showed up. Anybody? Karen, Maida? Are you still there? Go through services that I could cut out. Yep. Okay, so cutting out some things. Okay, awesome. Good. So you can prepare yourself. Good. No action means no results. Okay. Awesome. That's awesome, Maida. Yep, it is something that I've learned. If I never took the action to leave my corporate career in 2018, I wouldn't be in business. I wrote a book recently called Freedom: 7 Steps to Thrive in Life and Business, and I walked through 7 steps in my book, and I wouldn't have been able to focus on that. I also was a co-author in another book. I've done things. I've been able to create programs. You know, I've been able to focus on trainings like this consistently, not just randomly here and there, winging them here and there and just popping in occasionally. It's being 100% focused, 100% taking action, because I know what my why is. That is important. What is my why? My why is freedom. I want all of you to have freedom in your life. And this is why I even called my book Freedom. And I created 7 steps, because I want all of you to know that it's possible to love what you do and make money doing it. It can be done if we believe that the money will come. We deserve the money. We can. And think of the impact, the legacy that you can create for future generations. You know, Karen, future generation, the younger generation. Okay? Maida, you're helping people with the money, knowing what their numbers are, knowing how much money, where's their money going? Okay? People need to know that. Okay? Not just getting money and not knowing what to do with it, or where is it going? Where are they spending their money on? Okay? Because all of us need to know that. So you are making a difference, okay? So I don't know who tuned in real quickly, but they're gone now. So any questions, anything you need more clarification around, I will send both of you the replay of the video. It will be sent to your email, okay, to both of you. And like I said, the replay will go to people who showed up and stayed the entire time for the training. I do not want people to just register for something and not show up, because that's the easy way, right? Showing up is an action that both of you took, and I applaud both of you. So pat yourself that you showed up tonight for you. I'm just a messenger, but I showed up for you, but you showed up for yourself. So that is even more important, that you invested the time for you. So, Tina Kadish, I thank you so much for both of you tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and we will continue this 3-day training. So have a great evening. Sorry about the technology that I was freezing in and out. I hope that tomorrow night will be better, and have a great one, everybody. Bye, Maida. Bye, Karen.